March 16th, 2021. We're going to be taking a look at the market. But first of all, before going into that, I want to thank you guys and also say sorry that I've been away for so long. After the wedding, been spending a lot more time with family, but now I'm back at LA. I have some time. So we're going to be back to streaming. I don't know exactly how I'm going to do the schedule yet cuz I'm still trying to figure out doing other things besides this, but we're going to go ahead and just take a look at the market at least for now, and then we're going to go through whatever people want me to take a look at or anything like that, and we'll just go through the motions. Doesn't have to be doesn't have to be too bad. I don't want to make it too stressful either. All right, let me just double check something and then we'll get going. All right, I'm gonna take a look at Facebook over here. Very simple fib extension right there for Facebook. If I may. Man, dude, I think this music is gonna get copyrighted, so I probably can't play this. I'm gonna have to play something from like. Let me. Hmm. Yeah, dude, choosing music is hard because I noticed when my um videos get clipped, a lot of them are copyrighted music, so it just like completely blocks it off, which is not a good thing, but we'll see. I gotta go look for some like old school, maybe like lo-fi. Honestly, I never know, man. Should we just go to Mr. Carmack's channel? I haven't listened to his music in a while. All right, maybe not Mr. Carmack. Eh, whatever. So we'll just leave Mr. Carmack on for now. All right, highest point to lowest point. Yeah, this fib extension seems pretty correct. And then Spy's newest. We gotta create another fib extension probably. Not too bad, but probably could get better. Gotta look at it on the daily. Have I been looking at it on the hourly? Okay, I might have been messing that up a little bit. We'll double check that in a minute. Alright, that fib extension looks pretty. It looks alright. So we're gonna look at it on the daily, cause just so I don't really have to look at it on the hourly too much. Yeah, it's holding up pretty well. IWM, I'll probably have to set another fib just to actually nah, this fib extension should be okay for now. IWM has just been on a bullish trend for quite a bit of time now. All right. It's going to always default back to IWM, so I'll take a look at some other stuff. All right, let me take a look at overall VIX. It's sort of interesting right here, though. So I just like having fib extensions up. It helps me get a better overview of what I'm looking at. Just like the level and ranges that I might be working with. Not everyone is always going to agree with fib extensions, but it definitely helps me take a look at what I'm looking at. Sorry, man. Sometimes when the music is a little bit too like EDM-y, I get thrown off. It's hard for me to concentrate. It's when you gotta stick to like the lo-fi music, I guess. I mean, don't get me wrong, the music's dope as fuck, but let's see. It doesn't. Ah, man, E6 box is not going pushing out when I'm live, but it's totally cool. All right. Oh yeah, that's what I wanted to look at. I also want to take a look at GME real quick as well, cause this chart has been quite fascinating, man. Um, of course, we had that short squeeze. It almost looked like a cup and handle was forming, right, with a gap in the middle, and then it took off back to around like 350, and then it's been just dropping since then with earnings coming up. I definitely feel like a lot of people are gonna chase this. I just want to take a look at it just to see how it's doing. Take a look at some of the meme stocks. AMC definitely rising back up. A lot of people seem to have been talking about this the past couple days, especially on Reddit. I don't know why GoPro is coming back up again, but this is another topic that people seem to be talking about as well. What's up, man? How's it going? Hope you're having fun in Vegas right now, bro. Uh, so there are a couple other stocks that I wanted to look at. So CPNG was one of the main ones. Um, Talking to Mr. Felipe about this was definitely very interesting because he gave a different point of view from like what I actually think about this company. Um, I'll dig a little bit deeper into this company, but I'll leave the chart up for now. Another one I wanted to take a look at was Roblox. I think it's RBLX, yeah. So this company IPO'd as well. I think Roblox is like a very interesting acquisition because a lot of people see it as like a like kids like toy like building, but like the more I look into it, the more I start finding out like Roblox is fucking huge. Sorry for my language, but Vegas is chill. I'm glad to hear that, bro. The place you got looked nice as hell, man. Was it an Airbnb hotel? I guess net worth is not the correct term. All right. Nice. This article links you directly to the S1, which is basically them filing to become public IPO. So these are probably the biggest underwriters, the people who invested the most as Roblox was going live. Two 22.2 billion hours engaged. So they have like some testimonies and stuff like that. So I'm gonna just go through, just take a look at like their overview and stuff like that. I'm gonna sort of just like, oh here, sorry guys, I'll make it larger so you guys can see it. So I'm not the only one reading it, but you guys could see it as well. Like it's like an online system, so it's almost like what you expect like Minecraft to be, like a game, but it's not a game because people can build multiple different games on this platform. They can build like the best way I can explain it is like when Valve created their own Half-Life engine and gave it to other people, so they were able to create like spin-offs of games, which are probably like the most popular games right now. Like Counter-Strike was a spin-off of the Half-Life engine. But they basically have a system where it's all built up on that, and there's like Roblox coins and stuff like that. It's called Robux. They could spend on experiences and items, but we'll just go through it and then we'll just take a look at it because I think this is a very interesting acquisition. Just solely because of how many users are on it, but we'll get to it right here. So overview, story of Roblox began in 1989. Oh yeah, when our founders David and Eric programmed a 2D simulated physics lab called Interactive Physics. I'm not going to really go through that. Roblox in 2004. Replicate the inspiration of and imagination of creativity we saw in interactive physics on a much grander. An average of 36.2 million people from around the world come to Roblox every day to connect with friends. So you could create an account and go in. You could see like every single one of these icons that looks like apps are like different programs, different games, things you can do separately. Together they play, learn, communicate, explore, and expand their friendships. It's a very open platform for all like younger kids who are basically trying to learn. They could use this system to learn physics. It's just like it's a learning slash educational slash entertainment platform. It's a lot actually. Built by a community of nearly 7 million active developers. There's a lot of people developing new games, new worlds, things for people to explore. We call this emerging category human co-experience. Very interesting new form of social interaction we envisioned back in 2004. Our platform is powered by user generated content. So most of their stuff is user based. Roblox has only created just a platform for people to get onto, and then everyone else builds the content around it. Draws inspiration from gaming, entertainment, social media, and even toys. You know, some refer to our category as the metaverse, a term often used to describe the concept of persistent shared 3D virtual spaces in a virtual universe. The idea of a metaverse has been written about futurists and science fiction authors for over 30 years. Not really too important to what I'm trying to figure out. Our mission is to build a human co-experience platform that enables shared experiences among billions of users. We are constantly improving the ways in which the Roblox platform supports shared experiences, ranging from how these experiences are built by an engaged community of developers to how they are enjoyed and safely accessed by users across the globe. I think this is the very interesting part right here. It's like around the globe. I expected Roblox to be more of like a US based, but how many of Roblox users are global? I mean, we get the same information here. It's like a basically like an average of 36.2 million daily active users worldwide. They probably aren't gonna tell you exactly like a pie that splits up like where they're coming from. An increase of 13.7 million daily active users in 2019. So they basically more than doubled up within a year. Quarter four 2020 increased by 164%. Of course, when looking at it, 164% during quarter four, especially 2020, was a time when we had a lot of people at home, including kids, because schools were delayed or schools are all being done via Zoom and stuff like that. So of course, a lot of kids were probably on this as well. The most interesting thing for me that I heard of is like Roblox is not only kids though, right? Because there are a lot of people who do love building, who like creating stuff, like similar to like how like the thing that I can only like compare it to was Minecraft. Like I remember watching videos of like kids on Minecraft just like building extravagant cities and everything like that. And I think it's like the same for Roblox, but we could take a look at it right here. And oh, it does tell you geographic distribution of Roblox users. I think this is very interesting too. 33% of Roblox daily active users are based in US and Canada. That amounts to 11.5 million daily active users in US and Canada. That's pretty big. Like 11.5 million. We could just take a rough estimate. We have 331 million people in the United States. 11 is not much at all. It's not even close to 1%, right? It's a little bit less than 1%. It's like one third of 1%. But still a huge user base in the United States. It grew by 82.54% in quarter three 2020 compared to the same quarter in 2019. Of course, I think it has a lot to do with COVID and everything like that. So you could see quarter four 2018, quarter four 2019. It was only like a million jump up of 1 year difference. But from quarter four 2019 to quarter four 2020, It's probably quite a bit more because you could see the quarter four increase was 164% right here, but that's of course that's like the global users. So I'm pretty sure this has went up quite a bit as well from the 11.5, maybe went up to like 12, maybe 13. We'll have to see when it comes out. The European region has nearly the same number of daily active users as in North America. Quarter three shows about 1 million less, which is still a huge base, guys. Like if we let me think about, like, I don't know which game is probably like the most popular right now, but I do know, like, let let's just go to like Valorant, cuz this is the only game that I currently like play on the side, and this is the only thing that I could really think of. Like, I don't know how many other games are like really famous right now, but let's see, like Valorant has like 3 million players, like concurrent, I guess, playing the game per day through the 2-month beta. 3 million players. So Roblox has about like 3 times the amount of people. Let's see, League of Legends. So they have a total of 150 million registered players. So about 117 million players are actively playing monthly, and 10 to 11 million active players daily. So League of Legends, which of course is like a larger global game owned by Riot Games, has about 117 million players. So if you really think about it in terms of like League of Legends compared to like Roblox, Roblox is definitely not on this caliber, but it's very close right here in terms of the active players on a daily usage. But this is of course for that quarter. Let's see. 10.4 million daily users in Europe, 11.5 million daily users in the US and Canada. So it's actually very similar, daily wise. So if you think about it, like, this is a game that like a lot of people know about. And Roblox is something that like I've heard on the side, but haven't really like got into it myself. So just seeing that their user base is that high is something good to look at, especially when you're like thinking about even like getting into the company. These are things you want to like research a little bit, see how well they do up against like all the other games in the industry itself. Best way is to compare it. Let's see. Asia has about 5.4 million daily active users. It's very interesting to see Asia part of the equation as well, but these guys are like very global. So it's a good thing, because like if a game is sort of just like pigeonholed into one region, then you're definitely not gonna be making as much money, especially in that sense where you're only like stuck to one region. If you could actually like branch out to multiple different regions, then you're definitely going to be a lot better off in terms of revenue. And it actually opens up the door for more users, because I mean, if you look at businesses, like doing business is only one country can have its benefits, especially up to a certain extent, but like what you basically want is to always see a company branch out globally, because that means they're able to capture more revenue streams from different locations. Um, Roblox daily active users spend about 156 minutes, close to 3 hours per day on the platform. It's a lot of time. Roblox defines the number of available games as experiences. There are over 18 million games on Roblox. That's very interesting. And these are mostly all like custom created or created from the users itself. So this is only going to grow as their platform grows. I guess it really comes down to like how wide can their grasp be when it comes to the market share that they can capture, right? But I also want to see how much Robux they make. Maybe if I go down this, it'll show. So under 9 is their main category. 9 to 12 is a huge category. One bad thing though is like I do know like birth rates and everything are going down. It seems like it's not an issue of only certain companies but overall. But there are still users over 25 on the platform, and 17 to 24, 13 to 16. It seems like these are the two biggest markets, like 12 and under. I don't know exactly how much money they would be spending, especially probably because it's all done by kids, you know, like their parents are the only ones who would be spending the actual money, and most parents won't let their kids spend way too much money. Roblox gender distribution is currently almost 51% male, 44% female. I mean, that's not bad though. I expected the male to be a lot like bigger. Mobile is 72%. So I didn't know there was a mobile version of this. So that's actually very interesting. So the kids are able to like get onto it via mobile, I guess. That basically means more screen time. If you're aware, more kids are like glued to their screens now more than ever. I mean, it's not only kids, adults are as well. Let's see. Let's go down here. I don't know exactly how accurate this site will be, but it's definitely something good to look at. Roblox makes money via purchases of Robux by users, subscription fees from Roblox Premium, and commissions charged from developers when they make a successful transaction. Roblox's main business model leverages its internal currency, Robux. I guess it has like its own form of crypto, if you, in a sense. Let's see. Robux can be earned and spent on the platform and traded through a proprietary exchange into real world currency, US dollars. So I guess there is a way for people to actually like make money off of this. Like I don't know exactly how much money will flow in through this, but maybe we'll see what it says. While the majority of experiences games on Roblox are free, users are able to purchase specific enhancements. Robux can be purchased by users via one-time purchase, Roblox Premium subscription. Developers and creators can earn Robux via selling access to games and enhancements, engagement-based payouts, sale of content and tools between developers, selling items to users through the avatar marketplace. Developers get 70% of every game purchase on Roblox, with Roblox retaining the remaining 30%. So with them being completely like user based and creating games, like you said, we saw earlier that they have close to like 18 million different games. So the developers get like 70% of the games. Not all the games might be purchasable, some of them might be free, but they are making 30% off of those games while the developers get the rest. So it seems like the opposite is for the avatar marketplace. 30% cut when they create the item, while Roblox retains 70% on the transaction. That's very interesting. Roblox brings in 242.19 million in quarterly revenue, an increase of 4x since 2018. So quarter 1 2018 was 59.72. Quarter 1 2020 is 156.78. Of course, it's not exactly 3x, but it's like very close. If you consider the Q3 to the Q1, yeah, it's definitely like a 4x, which is huge. This is just in 2 years. But of course, you gotta like think about, is COVID the only reason that it's up this high in terms of revenue? Post COVID, or when COVID continues, will this statistic stay the same? Will it grow, or will it reverse and go back down as users leave? That's something we can't currently like predict, but it's something to always keep in mind. Wow. Quarterly mobile spending on Roblox is 308 million. So this is the quarterly revenue, but money being spent on Roblox is quite a bit, 308 million. Like let's take a look at their revenue. Yeah, see, if you like compare it to like another company, so this is just 2020 alone, probably year like the full year to date of 2020, they created 1.75 billion. If we go, if we get quarter one, quarter two, quarter three, what is that like? Let's say this is close to like 230. So it's like 470 million. It's almost $500 million that they created. Of course, we're not seeing the quarter four revenue. If this is very similar, that means there'll be, it's not 1.75, but Roblox itself will be close to creating $1 billion in revenue, which is pretty big, really. Pretty interesting. In the first 9 months of 2020, 1.24 billion worth of Robux was purchased on Roblox. So comparably to 2018, they've basically doubled up in a 2 year span. You could say almost like 50% increase year over year. Data only includes the first 9 months of 2020, so this could definitely be closer to like 1.5 billion, which would be very similar, but this is like revenue. So on average, so here's a quarterly overview, average bookings per daily active users. So people who are active on it quite a bit, on average are spending close to like $13.73 a day. So it's like, it's very close to 15. It's almost a meal that people are spending on a daily basis here. So it's almost like 2.5 cups of coffee that people are buying every day, at least for their most active users, which is pretty interesting. They have 7 million developers, an increase from 1.7 million in March in 2017. So earlier we saw that Roblox creators, like if they create a game and it sells well, then they make 70% of the profit while Roblox like holds 30%. So it's a very good thing for them. It's really crazy, man. So I think I'll probably have to look into this a little bit more, but like now with their IPO, I guess I'm gonna have to like look at them a little bit more. I don't know what word I'm looking for, honestly. Look at them a little bit more intently, I guess. Alright, I could use this book. Cause like for me, like I don't know if the valuation has like, if I find them valuable at $77, This honestly for me might be a little bit too high, but it's basically like I guess it's new and flashy, so a lot of people are more excited for it. But I'll have to see, man. I'm not exactly sure what their valuation should be, especially going off the information I just got. Yeah, see, the Roblox, is it too high, too low? Let me take a look at their overview. We'll take a look at their overview on Seeking Alpha. Let's see. Sorry, give me a second, guys. Held by insiders, held by institution. Of course, since it just went live, there's like a 47.74 float. So half of their shares are still floating out there. Man. Yeah, this is what I sort of wanted to look for. I sort of wanted to look at their market cap. This is throwing me off pretty heavily. Like 38.4 billion. That's a pretty high market cap for a company that's entirely digital based, creates a revenue stream that's okay. So their revenue it shows on their income statement as close to $1 billion. They have total cash on hand. I guess their total debt and total debt to equity hasn't showed up yet just because it's so new. The S1 filing won't show all of that information. Their return on equity, of course, they're a company that just went public, so you don't want to pay too much attention to like ROA and ROE. I mean, you should. Everyone should always pay attention to it, but it's not always super necessary to, especially when it just went public. 13.77 beta. Of course, they don't have a 52-week range. Because what? They IPO'd on the 10th? It's only been 6 days. Well, close to like 4 trading days because we had the weekend, right? Coupang. This is something I really wanted to invest in while I was in Korea. We could take a look at it real quick as well. So, Coupang is basically the Amazon of Korea, right? It's an e-commerce company. It is incorporated in Delaware, United States. Interesting. Very interesting. I did not know that part. Its headquarters are there. It's in Korea. It's the second largest online retailer in South Korea. Coupang's annual revenue exceeds $5.9 billion. Let's see. Let's take a look at Amazon's yearly revenue, right? It's like 386 billion. That's crazy, yo. So if you compare Coupang to it, which is 6 billion, it's nowhere near close to what Amazon's doing. But Coupang is technically only e-commerce at the moment, while Amazon has dipped its toes into so many different sectors that I guess they can't be compared. But like Coupang is now in the steps that Amazon was like maybe a decade ago, right? So we just have to see basically like so Felipe, when I asked him if this company is something that he would be getting into, he informed me that He's not quite sure, especially like how they'll branch out globally, which is a very important thing to look at. They also have offices in Beijing, Shanghai, Los Angeles, Mountain View, and Seattle. It is incorporated in Delaware. A student of Harvard University. I think this is very important right here. So SoftBank with its what was it called? Its Vision Fund, right? Investing is one of the reasons Coupang blew up. Another, Alibaba and stuff like that is like another version of this basically, but this is like I guess for Seoul, South Korea. Other major investors in Coupang include BlackRock and Fidelity. So right here is another interesting point. Of course, we don't know how accurate Wikipedia is going to be, but they acquired assets of a Singaporean streaming service, which could be very similar to the first steps that Amazon took with its Prime services. Basically, seeing how big they can branch this off. In Korea, there are a lot of competing streaming services at the moment, solely because Korea is sort of like a closed economy almost. It is very open, but a lot of the money that Korea makes is within its own country and it is spent within its own country. So all of its money is circulating within, like growing it internally, trying to make it a first world country. Korea is very small compared to the United States, like very small. So they do have the opportunity to grow at a faster rate because of how small they are. I gotta turn off. So even Bill Ackman was apparently an investor early on into it. He put in 1 billion. Oh, he donated the entire stake. It was more than 1 billion to charity. So he invested early with that money. Of course, it went up. He turned it around and basically sold it off and donated it. That's pretty crazy. So if you really think about it, maybe he was partaking in its growth, but right now, after it's went public, a lot of companies just because they go public does not mean that they'll just do great right off the bat as well. So it's something to take a look at. A lot of people talk about it. It's the new IPO Coupang, South Korean Amazon. Yes, Amazon, like, it's hard to compare it to Amazon because Amazon has grown so much. It is not, Amazon is not the Amazon that we all are like aware of. So, like, maybe like a decade ago when Amazon was now branching off into everything else, maybe not a decade, maybe like 6, 7 years ago before it started like snowballing even harder and faster. Maybe when they were just introducing like streaming services. I think Amazon, when did they start doing their 2 day delivery? I feel like that's when everything sort of changed. When did Amazon start? Okay, so damn, it was back in 2005. Time flies. So I actually thought it was only like a few years ago, but they've been doing it for quite a while. Wow. Okay. So maybe Coupang is more than a decade behind, but this is something that we have to like take in mind when looking at the stock, because like this is the IPO price, 69.28. And if you guys are aware of, let me see. So, sorry, not lockout. There's like lockup dates for employees who've been receiving private shares of a company as the company is growing. Once they IPO, there is a time frame in which they're not able to sell their shares. Um, but they should be able to sell off pretty early. We'll see. Announces partial early lockup release. This could be an explanation of why it's jumping down so much, because you might have like thousands of employees who are holding like hundreds, thousands of shares, selling it all off. So it seems like partial early lockup release that will occur at the opening of trading on March 18th. Today is March 16th, so there's still 2 more days left. Open on trading on March 8th with Class A common stock par value at Jesus. So some people might have like 10,000% per share worth. February 26th. Coupang estimates that approximately 34 million shares held by the early release employee group will become eligible for sale in the public market at the open of trading on March 18th. All right, so let's take a look at it then. So we'll take a look at Coupang. So right here it says 34 million shares held by investors that or early adopters. Shares outstanding, they have like close to they have close to 2 billion shares. Float is 94%, like 90.24%. So it seems like most of the shares are just floating out there. Held by insiders seems to be the most of it. So there aren't a lot of institutions who are buying in. Probably like the Bill Ackman article, like these shares were sold off pretty early as it was becoming public. So maybe this is something that I'll have to take a look at later on down the road. Maybe right now might not be the moment to get into Coupang. If they do an early release lockup and 34 million shares sell off, this price might actually plummet a little bit more. It might go down to like maybe like 40 something dollars. And then when the rest of the stocks become opened up, they might sell off even more. So we might be able to grab this at a sale price. Um Market cap at 83 billion. I feel like this evaluation is a little bit too high, honestly. Like sometimes like the evaluations of companies are so high like that I don't understand why they have such a high evaluation. Like look at this. Like Coupang is like 84. Let's take a look at like AMD 101. Like when I like compare these two, like yes, they are two different companies, but like you can't compare it to Amazon. Amazon is $1 trillion business. So like what's another company that does like e-commerce? Alibaba, of course, is one of the largest e-commerce, especially in China, becoming big. They're at like 620 billion. So I guess these guys are worth at like what, like 1/10, not even 1/10, like 1/9 of basically what Alibaba is. Korea is a very small company in terms country, so the revenue stream might not be as large as Alibaba because of course China has way more residents and population than the United States does. So those are things to like come into consideration as well when looking at this. But I think for Coupang, this is a waiting game. Yeah, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait for the lockup release and then sell off. I think that's gonna be the smartest thing to do, especially for Coupang. Let's go in and check the hourly of basically how our ETFs are doing. Just a basic overview of taking a look at the market. I have some fibs set up to simplify my process of when looking at it. IWM seems to be slowly going down. Not too big of a worry because the 50 is coming up to meet it. Same for SPY as well. Uh, Trading View says there was a golden cross event. You could see the 50 piercing through the 200 and 100 SMA right there. QQQ doesn't show the same. QQQ has been in a pretty aggressive downtrend the past couple weeks, right? It's been like 2 weeks almost, right? 2.5 weeks, I would say, of pure downtrend. Now the bounce is complete. Now it's trying to make its way back up. Now it's about like to see if it can hold over. Because like right now, it's catching up to where the 50 SMA is right here. You can see the blue is the 50 SMA. We'll see if it holds there. See if you can like, if it could bounce and hold, right? The 50 is a good average, moving average to keep. I guess it could show you in a macro scale if it's on a downtrend and or an uptrend. Right here, when it pierced below the 50, this is when you know that trouble can occur. It did. I think the green is 100. Let me double check though. I have to like memorize these. Yeah, 100. I might need to change the color of this. Now purple is 200. I guess we'll just leave it green for now. So it pierced below the 100. Of course, the 200 is like way down lower. So like, if it pierces the 200, that's like crash territory almost. It's a possibility. You don't see it happen way too many times. I can show you what I mean by like crash territory. Like if we go back to like March, COVID crash, you could see it pierces the 200. The 200 right here, we bounced off it. If you're aware of what a dead cat bounce is, it hit the 200 and bounced. And then it was a dead cat bounce from there. It fell, pierced below the 200. Of course, we don't have any more moving averages below here because 200 is the furthest one I have. I mean, you could set a 300, but most people aren't going to use a 300. Maybe a 250, but like I said, 200 is usually the furthest out moving average a lot of people will use. You can see it pierced through. It held at a lower support, like 164, before it rebounded and made its bounce up. You can see the 200 has been like slowly creeping up as a support way below. Of course, our initial bounce that's been happening for the past 2 weeks where everyone has been in a lot of pain never came close. It did pierce the 100 though. And this is only really in tech. If you take a look at like SPY, which is another ETF, SPY has been holding really well, really well. The S&P 500, you could see that it never got close to its 100-day SMA. So SPY itself is pretty well rounded. It's not tech heavy, although a lot of its like top holdings are very tech related. But they do hold a lot of different industries. So this time around was definitely very tech heavy. When tech falls, a lot of people feel the pain because we're in what you would consider like an era of tech, like a bubble in tech, for the lack of a better term, because everyone's investing into tech because tech is the new thing, right? AI, semis, online platforms, clouds, all of it is tech, right? IWM, of course, is small caps. smaller caps. Things for this is what I've been like tickers under small caps is what I've been looking at more and more because if you look at how they were doing post COVID, while tech was rallying higher at a pretty fast rate, if you look how fast it's rising up. IWM, the smaller caps were lagging behind quite a bit, but now they've caught up quite a bit, which is a good thing. So this is something that I was taking a look at as well. But ETF wise, SPY is definitely holding well. Maybe it'll reach up to 400 soon. We'll see. It's constantly setting new all time highs. Of course, right now is a time when a lot of people's stimulus checks are coming out. So there's a lot of things to take a look at in terms of like asset wise, where money might be going. Close that out. Close that out. Close Roblox out. This is I gotta think about this quite a bit because like there's not too many like gaming companies that I want to like invest heavily in. So I gotta see if Roblox is gonna be one of them. Cause like another gaming or like entertainment company that I've been looking at on the side, of course, is always like Activision Blizzard. Um, After their BlizzCon, they've actually dropped down quite a bit. I don't know why people think BlizzCon is gonna create like this crazy uproar. Maybe more towards like earnings, but like the more I played Activision, the more I learned that maybe its valuation is not correct. Solely because like I think it was the November or October earnings that I played, and I had like a thought process that Call of Duty, if you're aware, Modern Warfare was probably one of the biggest games during the whole COVID crash or the whole COVID season. It was probably like one of the hottest games, especially with Warzone coming out. And I was looking into them, and they were making a ton of money off of like skin sales, like everything like that, right? And they did report almost close to like I think it was like a 70 to 80% revenue increase from the previous quarter, which means they've almost doubled up from the 3 months prior. But it's just sort of like they didn't go up at all. Like, if you actually look here, like right as earnings happened, it sort of crashed. It went lower. And then after their earnings, like people started jumping in. Hype happened as the new year was coming in with their new earnings. And then it just tanked again from there. So like for me, when I think of like a gaming company or like something interactive like this, like if Roblox is at 77 and Activision and Blizzard, two huge companies that have been making games for decades, join forces and they can't beat the evaluation, they're only like $20 apart. Of course, like their market cap might be different, but it's sort of just like sort of makes me think like is Roblox really at the valuation that it should be at? I don't know. Cuz like for me, I'm thinking like maybe Activision might go up like later this year because like I know a lot of people are like anticipating this game like crazy. I'm pretty sure Diablo 2 Resurrected is gonna have like some kind of record sale for them because Diablo 2 was probably Blizzard's most successful game. Maybe besides StarCraft, but Diablo 2 was definitely one of their biggest hits. So a lot of people are definitely going to be coming back for this game. Like I know a lot of people around in my circle are definitely excited for this game. I'm stupidly excited for this game. I used to be a fucking Diablo lose my life to Diablo. So maybe around then that we could see Activision's um, price range and valuation go up. But then if you base it on a single game and the valuation goes up, like that valuation's not going to hold for a very long time because it's not like they're going to be constantly buying Diablo 2 for like a year in a row, you know? It's just one release. While Roblox isn't technically, they're not developing the game itself, they actually have developers on the side. So maybe because this is more open source and open platform, there is more room for growth because it's not like just the company's developers trying to create a game, which is like what Activision and Blizzard is. So these guys are very like game dependent and release dependent, while Roblox is just an online system where everyone just sort of where it rotates and moves on its own. Huh. It's very interesting. I don't know. This is like my thought process behind it because this is something I've been thinking about. Maybe I have to talk to a couple more people, see like what their point of view is for Roblox, and then maybe I'll jump into it. But until then, I'm just gonna like think about it. Cause $70 for one share is still quite high, in my opinion. It's quite high. We'll take a look at. Let me take a look at Activision. Where's my Seeking Alpha? Their market cap is 72. What was Roblox at? 38.37. So it's almost like half of their market cap. Yeah, man. I don't know. Is Roblox really worth half? Hmm. Makes me think a little bit. Yeah, this is something I'm gonna have to like just really think about. Maybe I'll come back to it on another day, get like some fresher eyes or like some fresher thought process because like right now I'm just like at the point where it's just like it can't be it can't be worth half. All right, let's take a look at some other tickers. Overall market seems to be doing what it's doing. Let's go through like all the big names. Tesla on the 1 hour, it seems to be rebounding quite a bit. Honestly, for me, I think Tesla is overvalued right now. Um, but we'll have to see where its valuation falls to as well. We looked at Facebook. Take a look at Apple. Apple is not doing too bad. Of course, it bounced up. It's trying to get back to where it was previously. Let's see. Microsoft. 바빠. 나 지금 스트리밍하고 있다고 바빠. 어. Gamble. Very interesting company. I sold out of this quite heavily. I'll see if I'll jump back into this. Square coming back up quite a bit. It rose really high during the whole Bitcoin craze, but then like it's sort of corrected since then a little bit. I'm gonna have to like redo these fib extensions. I have way too many. Maybe we'll create a closer fib extension just to see where it is. Cause like look how much it's come up, man. It's been on such a bullish trend for so long. Imagine picking up Square at the end of the COVID crash at like $30. It is now almost at 300. You would have 10x your investment, 1000% almost, very close. If you bought it near the bottom, you're close to like 900% right now, anyways. I personally didn't pick it up until it was in like the 70s, but I sold out for most when it was close to like 100 something. Dumb mistake, man. Dumb mistakes. Let's take a look at PayPal. Visa. Visa's coming up. It's doing pretty well. Chart. It's like one of the most disgusting charts to look at. Like, look at this. Volatility on this is fucking nuts. What was MasterCard again? Take a look at banks. Dude, what? Dude, I'm forgetting my tickers. Bank of America's coming back up. Banks are doing a lot better. It seems like everything is in a better financial position than it was beforehand. I feel like the market might be in a pretty good area. Bonds are falling really low too, though. The 20-year treasury bonds. VIX and bonds are going super low. Let's take a look at gold. Gold seems to be rebounding quite a bit and never really reached that 200 mark that a lot of people were anticipating. Silver's probably doing a lot better, holding. Wow, it had one day of just huge spurt before it came back down. Gap was filled though. Gap was filled and then it broke down. Very interesting. Let's take a look at some cannabis based stocks. Kern. How's Tilray doing? Could be creating a cup and handle the next couple days. Maybe. Who knows? Let's see. What other sectors is there to look at? Like, damn. I thought industrials would reset a little bit more heavier than this, being honest. Well, the rest of the market was like really struggling the past couple weeks. Like, Caterpillar has been doing really well. I don't know what's up with infrastructure that it's moving it like this so much. Let's see if there's any other thing that people are talking about. Interesting. Solar's still coming back down a little bit. I want to check out this ETF. Ah, it's not out yet, I guess. All right, we'll get out of that one. Give me a second, guys. All right, let me check a look at some cloud-based stuff. Let's take a look at like Crowd, T-Dog. Damn, these guys are all at a low point right now too. I need to look through some semis. AMD is at 83. Oh, why am I in semis? Sorry. Whoops. Nvidia hit like a point right here, came back down. It's bouncing quite a bit though. TSM. Let's check out MU. Damn, such a bullish trend. 50 is coming up to meet it. Downfall, it didn't even touch the 50. It could though. Could very well touch the 50 with these next couple candles. It's really dependent, man. I know Biden is pushing for like legislation or a bill to help the semis of the US, like AMD, Nvidia. Intel is like a lost cause, bro. Like this chart is like one of the nastiest charts. Like just look at this volatility, man. VIX is coming down. So we're in a good location, man. Overall, I think the market's in a really good location. It could either be very bullish the next couple days, but of course, like it's too early in the week. Tomorrow I think there's an FOMC meeting. We could like watch the FOMC meeting, but I think a lot of people are waiting to see what Jerome Powell says. There is a lot of talk about hyperinflation or some type of inflation that could be hitting the US very soon and that Jerome Powell is not talking about. So a lot of different factors going on behind the scenes that could make the next year or the year after very tricky in terms of trading. Of course, putting your money into assets that don't depreciate as much as cash is probably going to be a good move. So, could be a good thing, but like right now, the market is in a place that like no one really expected it to be in, right? At least in my opinion. Like everything after the COVID crash sort of led to the idea that we should not be moving up this high. But through all the warnings, through everything, like we are going for all-time highs once again. It's a very interesting location we're in right now. I think a lot of the logic has to be like, or a lot of the like common sense logic has to be thrown out the window because things are happening in the market that I guess we've never expected, especially after the COVID crash and the stock market rising almost like doubling up from its low point. You know, like let's see how much it gained until September. So from the lowest point of SPY to the September crash, it was close to 83% that it went up from its lowest point. So I think like moments like these are like what's causing more people to come into the market. Of course, this is my own conjecture and my own opinion, but like moments like GameStop, like the short squeeze, it was definitely more mainstream than beforehand. So there are going to be a lot of more people who are curious about the stock market and who are going to enter the stock market. So there is more money coming into the market than there usually is. A lot of people have always been of the mindset that like you need to purchase a house to really, build wealth, but that's not the case as much anymore. Retail is one aspect or one revenue stream of building your capital. A lot of more people are putting more money into the stock market as well. So it could basically cause for more higher highs as more people enter the market more than ever. It's very dependent. I'm not going to say I'm an economist. I don't know everything going on behind the scenes. I do know bond rates are rising. So there was a huge change of assets that happened for the past 2 weeks as people were buying up bonds. Because bonds is basically like, as long as they're not junk bonds, like most of the bonds that people are going to be buying is basically rent money. That's another way to look at it. There's more money that flows through the bond market than flows through the actual stock market. But it's sort of more behind the scenes. So not a lot of people actually like go to the bond market except specific few. Because bonds, there are a lot of high risk stocks instead of investment grade bonds. Most investment grade bonds are going to be of huge companies like Apple, Facebook, and stuff like that. But I don't think they're putting out as much bonds as they are anymore because they're borrowing so much money compared to like how much they have available. So like, let's go see. Let's see how much debt certain companies are in. We'll go to Amazon real quick because they're probably like one of the largest companies that we could take a look at. So, like I said, a lot of people are borrowing money to stay afloat or just to do things that are smart, I guess, like buying up smaller companies and everything like that. So they are borrowing money through bonds. And this is where these larger debts are coming out from right now. And it's happening like all over the place actually. You could see like the total debt of companies are rising quite a bit lately, more than ever. Especially during this corona time because of the bonds. It's like a fickle thing too, the bonds, right? The more I did like research into it, the more it sort of became confusing. But like as I learn more, I'll definitely like explain more to you guys. Microsoft is not too bad. But yeah, I wish there was a way to check how much total debt has been rising. Maybe in financial statements it shows it. Uh, yeah, they don't show you. But this is something I definitely want to look into a little bit more. I remember I was watching a YouTube video about the bond market. It wasn't TD Ameritrade. I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think it might have been this one right here. This was basically one of the videos I watched. Another video, like if you guys have time available, always go check out the Ark Invest channel Kathy Woods be posting up videos like on a weekly basis, and she just talks about the overall market, especially for people who aren't too informed or just have too much information available. She's very good at giving details about the macro side of the market. She talks about bonds and everything like that as well. So that's something you guys definitely want to check out. But you guys should check out this as well. I think this is where I got a lot of my information from initially before I started doing some actual research into it. The corporate bond market is $10.5 trillion of debt. And this is debt, of course, that these companies are saying they're going to pay off, but most of these companies will not be able to pay this off. So there are investment grade and then high risk bonds, and most of them are high risk at the moment. But a lot of these companies, like maybe even Amazon and Apple, are teetering between high risk and investment grade bonds. And if they actually fall to the opposite side of where it becomes high risk, we're going to run into a lot of issues because bonds change quite a bit going from investment grade to high risk. I'm not going to go too heavily into it because my knowledge is still very small. But definitely as I learn more, we'll go more into it. But honestly, today's pretty much been a quiet day, man. All right. So I'm going to go. Give me 1 second. I'm going to take a look at. I'm trying to see if there's like companies that not like everyone has their eyes on. Because I don't like going for companies that have like way too much hype behind them. But we'll have to see. I think since it's a pretty slow day, nothing amazing's happening in the market. Tomorrow, let me see what time the FOMC meeting is. Tomorrow, I could definitely watch the FOMC meeting. Let's see. Oh, all right. 2021, 16th through 17th. All right. So tomorrow is probably gonna be close to like 11, maybe like 10. I don't know exactly what time. They haven't showed what time. But tomorrow we'll probably watch this just to see what's happening. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna have to take a look at this later. Got to do some research into some companies, see how well they're doing, or if they are worth the investment. I guess. I hope this line holds. The 230 would be nice. Set a higher support. Same for SPY right here. Hope it doesn't come down too much. There could be a downtrend. We've bounced quite enough. Set a higher support already. the more higher supports we create as we go back up, the better. Like, yes, red days suck, but if it holds at a support, it's way better for us down the road. That means there could be higher highs in store. Yeah, you can see the 50s coming up to meet the Qs. I think tech needs to catch up quite a bit. Tech has been lagging the market, and it's been stopping like SPY and everything else from going up a lot. But overall, not too bad. Mara's rising up. Bitcoin is still pretty prevalent. A lot of people are still talking about it. So I had this block for quite a bit, but I sold it off. Trying to see where it's at right now. It touched the 50, and the 50 is coming up to meet it. We're in between two fib points right now to see what it wants to do. It seems about right, though. It's a nice support resistance it's been playing with. You can see right here during this candle. This candle touches it before it retraces back down. Reattempt up above where it touches a higher resistance before coming back down completely. Now it's pushing back up to retest it. Third time's a charm, maybe. Market itself is pretty slow. There's not too many things to take a look at right now. Just went through the motions of taking a look at some IPO companies, going through my thought process behind them, and if I should invest in them. Like right now, when I try to invest into IPOs, I guess I've been a little bit more cautious lately. Just because like it seems like so many companies are IPOing just to IPO, and a lot of people are chasing IPOs just to chase IPOs at the chance that it could make them quite a bit of substantial money. But it seems like it's hit or miss quite a bit. What's up, Triple? How's it going, man? Damn, Triple, you have to come in like close to the end, bro. I'm gonna be probably closing out soon, but I'm definitely gonna get back on schedule. I gotta create like some schedule where I'm able to stream and do other things that I need to do. Maybe currently right now because I don't have to take my wife to work, I could just straight out stream earlier into the day. So I might just start doing that. I might skip the end of the close at the market just solely because like if we get like a general idea of where the market's at during the mid of the day, power hour doesn't always like really intrigue me way too much. Yes, it could just start shooting up, but yes, it could start shooting down. But we've been having pretty lackluster power hours lately, at least in my opinion. Yesterday's power hour was a little bit better. Honestly, yesterday and today has been like rebound day. I'm like thinking of like what other things that I might be able to get into. But there's definitely a lot of companies who are still like lagging behind. I didn't actually take a look at retail earlier. Damn, Walmart, you fell off a fucking cliff, yo. So much. Man, terrible. Pushed above and then immediately fell below. Painful, painful, painful. How's Target doing? Target's doing a lot better than Walmart is for sure. Alright, let's take a look at Home Depot. Yeah, man. Such a high evaluation or valuation for Home Depot. 280. I don't know, man. Lowe's is at 175. I want to take a look at Boeing as well. This is a weird fib extension. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, it's a really weird. Yeah, dude, Boeing's been on a tear lately. I mean, it's taken it like I feel like 2 months to really get into gear. But if you like take a look at like travel, Delta, like Delta's been doing really well the past couple days too. Like JetBlue, all these travel companies are sort of like coming back because like yes, we have some states like reopening fully. But a lot of people are starting to travel again, you know? Like traveling right now is so cheap. Cheaper than it used to be, at least. Like the flights I bought to go to Maine, like last year or before COVID hit, a round trip ticket would have costed me close to like $500 to $600. And that's just in the regular economy class. Round trip to like Boston and back. But now, when I went this time, it costed me like $300 for the round trip. Maybe like 310, but it was very cheap. Like it was like almost a whole $200 cheaper, you know. So there's a lot of people who are traveling right now. I feel like these companies will come back sooner or later. Um, as more people start to travel again, you know, like Airbnb is still pretty huge. A lot of people are still using Airbnb. It's on a nice channel. Seems like it right now, at least. Actually, that channel looks incorrect. Huh. This would technically be a more correct channel. Yeah, but Boeing's been on a tear. I think, especially right now, because they probably aren't having as many sales as they used to of their, what is it, their 737. I forget what it's called. But they haven't been having as much sales. Of course, they've been bombarded by a lot of bad news, but Boeing is an American company that the government is not going to let just fade away into the darkness. I think this is like a very good company to just hold on to. I mean, how much have they fell though, really? Boeing's highest point was 444 before the COVID crash. It was at like 350, so it's $100 down from that point. And then from the 350 point, it fell all the way to 85. Huge fall, man. That's like 200 something dollars right there. Now it's back up to 278. If it could go back up to like 300, I think Boeing would definitely be in a very good position. But we have to see, man. Boeing's been doing really well as of lately, though. I just had to look at Beyond just because I had to be in my head. But jeez, man, Beyond's been doing terrible, bro. It's been getting his ass kicked, yo. Oh. Beyond Meat, like their stock, like their meat overpriced. Dude, how much is Beyond Meat? Like, I've never actually like went into the market like specifically looking for it, you know? Like, I've tried locations that have Beyond Meat, and I think I've said this multiple times on the stream though, but when I compare Beyond Meat to a different, what is it? Like fugu meat, I don't know, fake meat. I've I've had better experiences with Impossible Meats compared to Beyond. Um but of course Beyond Meat is probably more public and more out there than Impossible is. It's pricey as fuck unless you're at Costco. Yeah, I'm not gonna go all the way to Costco to buy Beyond Meat. Like, I mean, maybe if you're buying a bunch of it at once, but I don't know, man. Maybe one day I'll have to like go out. Very bullish Beyond Meat and 9 other stocks that are vulnerable to a blow up. What does vulnerable to a blow up mean? Like, do bad? Facing steeper hurdles from rising bond yields, which is very interesting because we were talking about. I was talking about the rising bond yields just a moment ago. Oh, you live like right next to a Costco. Bro, I wish I lived next to a Costco. I used to work next to a Costco, and it used to be like one of my favorite things because, dude, I love Costco's food court. Buying a fucking like hot dog and drink for like $1.50. It doesn't matter if it's not the best hot dog out there, man. Just the price alone, you know? So they probably borrowed a lot of money and they can't probably pay it back as much. But I want to know how much it costs, man. Damn, dude. If you like really think about it, like, all right, this is beyond. This is like, I can't believe it, dude. Like the patty is like 5.29, and this is frozen too. It is pretty freaking expensive, man. You get like 4 patties in this. What? Like 1 ounce patties, like each, and it costs you like $20. It's pretty pricey, man. Yeah, like look at this price difference. Like Impossible, like the burger meat, like the what is the term I'm looking for? What is this meat called? It's not shredded meat. Oh, I don't know what dude, I'm drawing a blank here. Anyways, this is 16 ounce. This is 12 ounce. 647, 829. Of course, one's from Walmart, the other's from Target, but for 4 ounce difference, it's like a dollar. What is that? Like $1.20 difference. Still pretty pricey. Oh, it's just called ground meat, dude. Yeah, sorry, Triple. Thank you, bro. I was trying to figure out what it was. Like, I was like, is it ground meat? No, it's shredded meat. What the fuck? It's just one of those days, man. Thank you. Ground meat. Yeah. Sausages are stupid expensive too. You get 4 sausages for 8.99. Bro, you could buy some like really, really good like kielbasa sausages for this price. You know? Damn. It's really expensive, man. No wonder going to like vegan burger places are so pricey. You're just paying extra for it to be vegan, huh? Yeah, this is really expensive. Dude, Morningstar, they're not too bad though, man. Morningstar, I remember them being in the refrigerated section for so long, you know? Their chicken nuggets are pretty good. I mean, for the most part, you're gonna be dunking these nuggets in some kind of sauce. But I mean, for what it is, like beyond the Beyond Meat, like look at this price, man. Can't beat this price. You eat the breakfast ones in the morning with eggs because the pork sausages are too greasy. That makes sense, dude. They're honestly, I like their sausage links, dude. I used to eat them quite a bit. I haven't ate them in quite a bit of time, but definitely a cheaper alternative, man. I feel like these also have like branding behind them, so they're a bit more expensive, you know? Like God, who knows what goes inside these morning stars. You got 3 Morningstar sausages, 5 strips turkey bacon. Dude, I can't do turkey bacon. I really cannot do turkey bacon. I've tried so many times, but I can't do turkey bacon, dude. Not a fan. But I do fuck with eggs, though. Eggs are delicious. Turkey bacon inside an air fryer? Dude, I don't have an air fryer, but I'm planning on getting one. They're really nice, bro. My wife's family had an air fryer in Korea. Air fry everything, dude. So I'll probably get an air fryer. Actually, I need to get one. I need to like start cooking at home more using these tools, you know. I have like a crock pot, but I've never used that crock pot. And there's so many things that I got to use while I'm at home. Damn, but beyond it's too expensive, man. I can't believe it got close to its previous all-time high. 221, $20 off from its highest point before it fell again. Tesla's on its way back down. Could this be a beautiful dead cat before it goes down lower? It might not be. That might not be a good thing for a lot of the markets, though. It seems so weird. Like only specific companies are doing better than the others. TTCF. What's TTCF? Oh, tattooed chef. Interesting. This is like one of those pre-made meals. Haven't even looked into this at all. This is pretty interesting. It's from Paramount. All right, let's see what a cauliflower mac and cheese bowl cost. How is a cauliflower mac and cheese fucking $10, yo? $10 for a micro? Yeah, dude. This makes no sense, man. $10. And the first, like, it says vegetarian, right? It's not vegan either, because they clearly use whole milk right here. So, like, I don't understand. Like, when people put a higher price tag for vegan stuff, like, I sort of understand because cutting out like milk and all types, like all these different types of like cow, chickens, very hard to create a bowl. Like, how you gonna make bread without eggs? There's alternatives to it and stuff, yes, but that's just this is nuts, man. Mexican style street corn. Do you guys know how easy it is to make this? Like, really, how easy it is? You could probably go buy a can of corn. All you probably need is some paprika at home. And the cotija cheese is, well, it depends on where you live, but in LA it's not too expensive because we have a lot of it, especially maybe just all of California. You could buy like a cotija cheese for like 4, maybe $5. The canned corn is probably going to cost you like $1. That lime is probably going to cost you like $1 for like maybe like 2 or 3. If you buy 2 cans of corn, the cotija cheese, the lime, even with the spicing for paprika, you could probably make this for under $10, and you could probably make it more than once. You know what I mean? You could probably make it like 2 or 3 times. Like, yes, they probably have a lot of different ingredients in here, but like cilantro's not expensive. You could buy a bundle of cilantro for like 99 cents, right? Cotija is probably going to be like the most expensive thing here. Putting sour cream in, yeah. I'm not gonna go too heavily into it because I think this is like a huge waste of money, but I can't believe people are really buying this, man. But then it sort of makes sense because I do know delivery is becoming more prevalent, especially in this Corona economy. There were a lot of people, I mean, a lot of people who never really did cook at home and would always go out to eat. And now that option of going out to eat becoming a little bit more complicated because some places maybe they do have outdoor dining, you can eat there. But for the most part, a lot of people are resorting to delivery, but you're paying for delivery costs and stuff like that. So I guess this is a way to combat that for a lot of people who rather just like cook something like this at home instead of going out. It makes sense, but like, man, you know, you could probably just like YouTube how to make most of this and save yourself quite a bit of money. I don't know. That's just my point of view, but this is crazy. I didn't even know they had a public stock. When did they go public though? Dude, they've been public for quite a bit, dude. They IPO'd in 2017. It's been under $10 since then. So from December, their lowest point was $13 once again, and now they're back up to like 20 something dollars. All right, I gotta look into something. Let me see if I could go to their Seeking Alpha. I should have just gone to Seeking Alpha right off the bat. So they recently had earnings, it seems. Yeah. So they beat revenue by 0.49 million, or 9% of EBITDA compared to 2.2 million, or 8% of revenue. Has reported strong revenue growth, up 65% year to year to 41 million for quarter three, bringing 9 million revenues up. See, this is like plant-based organic frozen food, but it's not vegan food. So it's a little bit of a different market than like what Beyond Meat is doing, right? And it's all frozen food. Through three channels: key club members, expansion in new and existing retail customers, and a direct to consumer e commerce site. Walmart, Sam's Club, Costco are the key club holders, while retail is expanding to include Target and Kroger and Albertsons. Most of it is through Walmart, which distribution has risen, which is a good thing. Walmart is probably their key outlet. I think this is something like maybe I'll look into later, like once it actually like expands to all these other retail stores, but $23 for a frozen food company. Yeah. It achieved 640% growth in branded sales through the 9 month period this year with no marketing advertising. Well, yeah. I mean, it is Corona time, so it's going to start marketing. It's going to probably have to use quite a bit of its revenue to do that. We got to see how well it does, though. Yeah, dude. Crazy evaluation. I just can't believe how expensive their bowls and dishes are for frozen food. Absolutely bananas, bro. Not worth it, at least in my opinion. But of course, that's just my opinion. They don't really even have like that many dishes, really, right? Like different SKUs, like buffalo cauliflower wings, an enchilada bowl. Doesn't even look like an enchilada. Cauliflower crust pizza. Yeah, it's nonsense, man. These other meat versions, yeah, I don't understand it too much. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. I'm going to do a short stream today. The market is relatively pretty slow. Tomorrow, I'll be coming on and watching the FOMC meeting while taking a look at the market on the site as well. I do really want to see what Jay Powell is going to be talking about tomorrow. I've been having some concerns that maybe like the market is in like a bubble state, or like inflation is coming on the side and we're just like not aware of it. Very similar to something that might have happened in like 2008. I don't think we're gonna run into an issue where like 2008 is gonna repeat itself, because every single financial issue that we've ran into that caused the recession, everyone has made, or like the SEC, the Fed, all of them has created like bills and regulations to stop that from happening once again. But of course, it's a learn as you go process, and things that you change right now might not have repercussions until later on down the road. He always says that we're in a good position. He has been saying less of that we're like in uncertain times because he knows that it moves the market too much when he says that. But I think tomorrow will be very interesting to watch, just to see how the market reacts. I'm honestly more curious about how tech will start doing in the next couple weeks or so. Tech has been hit the hardest, I think. Everyone who's been tech heavy, of course, their portfolio has been hurting quite a bit. Today is pretty downturn considering how much we pushed up. But if we can hold the support right here at the 317 area and make our way back up, I think we'll be in a good position. It all depends on if our support holds or not. But overall, I think we're in a pretty decent place. I don't like this downturn on IWM at the end. SPY's holding relatively well. Hopefully, we set a new support right here. It does look like we're holding above that previous high right here at like the 390 area, 394 area. We'll see how well it holds. I hope IWM doesn't fall all the way to 225 though. We still have $4 to work with. Tesla's falling again. We'll have to see if this is like a Grim Reaper event, man. Like to see if this was a dead cat bounce to a lower low. We'll have to see. Either way, guys, I'm going to go ahead and close it out here for today. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I know I'm not staying until the end of the market, but it's a pretty slow day for the market otherwise. Like I said earlier, probably a lot of people are just chilling and waiting for Jay Powell to say something tomorrow before people are like reinvigorated back into the market, especially after like 2 weeks of the market being in a downturn. I think a lot of people are looking forward to what Jay Powell is going to have to say tomorrow. Especially with that $1.6 trillion bill that passed for Biden. We're going to have to see exactly what's going to happen. But hey, man, I hope you have a killer day as well. Jason, enjoy Vegas. I hope the rest of you guys have a good evening or day. I'll catch you guys tomorrow on the flip side. But let's hope for a killer day tomorrow, guys. Let's hope Powell says something nice and the market just goes right back to bull mode, man. I would like to see that. 2 weeks of downturn has been pretty harsh for a lot of people, so it would be nice to see some gains back in the market. Especially with the stimulus checks hitting, man. I think with the stimulus checks hitting, there might be more people coming back into the market, or they might all be putting their money into Bitcoin, which fell quite a bit. So we'll see. But either way, guys, once again, have a good rest of your day. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.